Alright, so today's the day we're going to deal with this giant pile of hand knit socks. They're all beautiful, but it's time for them to get washed. And I wish I was the type of person that was like really super organized. Like that's the person I aspire to be. But in all reality, I'm not. So they just kind of pile up here in a pile in the corner until it's time to wash. And usually I'll wait for it to get completely out of control like this before I do the washing. So the way that I prefer to wash the socks, so let me just lead with, these are all super wash socks. All the wool is super wash. I do not use non-super washables for socks because I am a lazy maintainer of things, as you can see by this pile, and I don't want to deal with accidentally machine washing something and then having it felt or shrink. So I make sure that when I'm making socks that it's all super wash. So first thing that I do is I grab my laundry bag. So I got these probably, I don't even know, Target, Walmart, Amazon, they're everywhere. And it's just like this mesh bag, and these particular ones have a zipper on them. Some of them are just drawstrings that you tie in a knot. This one, these both have zippers. They're both identical, have zippers. The only thing and the only caution I would give you if you use bags like this is to make sure you don't catch your socks, your knitting on these zippers, because it will snag and we don't want to do that. We worked very hard on these socks and we don't want to snag them. So I don't put a lot of like thought into it. I don't break them up into pairs at this point. I just kind of shove them in these bags. So we're gonna do that. Okay, so as you can see, I really don't go through any sort of effort of separating colors. We'll get to that in a second when we get to the machine, but basically I fill the bag probably about halfway, half-ish, just to kind of keep room for these to kind of move around and get some soap and water action on them. So there's the one. We still have all these. I have a second bag. Normally, when it gets to this point, it takes me usually 2 or 3 loads. This looks like it's going to probably be 3, but we'll fill this one up, and then we will go to the laundry and get the washing started. All right, so here we are at the laundry. I'm about to put these in. I'm upstairs. We have upstairs laundry. It's in the hallway. Not exactly my favorite place for it, but the prior owners made that decision for us. So I'm just going to get this started. And I know I just mentioned that I do not separate colors, and I don't, with one exception. I have a pair of blue self-striping socks that for some reason, no matter how many times and how many color catchers I use, they still bleed. So those socks get segregated. They do not get mixed in with these. I keep them away so that they don't bleed all over everything. And maybe one day they'll stop, but until that happens, they don't get to join this party. So have my bags here. I'm gonna grab this. So this is Soak. I feel like everybody knows Soak, but it's a mild detergent used for hand knits, and then I think they use this for quilts too. But this is ancient. I've had this bottle forever, and you can see it's still plenty left. Little tiny bit is more than enough. I do probably about half of that cap full, and that's gonna get thrown into this washer with these bags, some color catchers just in case, and it's gonna clean these socks. So while we're here doing this, I do want to mention that, you know, socks, wool socks in particular, you can wear them more than once without washing them. They are, I believe wool has some antimicrobial properties to it, so they don't get stinky very fast, and they're very durable, which is also why I like hand knit socks better than, yes, I know I can buy socks from the store, but these are way better for that reason. So just wanted to mention that. So everything's in, the soak, the 2 bags of socks, and the color catchers. So I feel like everybody knows about color catchers, but just in case you're not, these are dye trapping, let me get them in here. These are dye trapping sheets, and what it does is it will capture any sort of leftover dye in whatever fabric you have and kind of catches it and segregates it so that it doesn't like pollute the other items in the wash. So I threw a couple in here. I threw 2 in here. I like to use these as insurance just in case, but because we're going to, let me turn this on. Oh, I gotta close it. Close it. But we're going to use the delicate cycle, and then my particular machine has options. It has like a million options. I just put it on regular cold, medium spin, light soil. It takes like an hour. It says an hour. It usually, I feel like it overestimates the time, but so cold water, medium, light soil. Because they're in the bags, they'll be fine. They're super wash. And we're gonna get it started. Okay, the washing machine played its little song, and the socks are washed. So next up, we're just going to come over here to the dryer. We're going to toss these in. Let me grab this one. I'm very short. Okay. Throw them in there. I don't put any dryer sheets. No fabric softener. Nothing like that. Just toss them in there. And what we're going to actually do is we're just going to put this on not sensor dry time. Just going to put it on like 30 minutes and then like medium heat. I don't want to actually dry them. I just don't want them to be dripping because they're going to go on a drying rack. So 30 minutes, that should do it. Start this up. Okay, so I actually paused it for a second. So let's look at these color catchers. So I mentioned I put those in. I put 2 in, and when they're in, when they're fresh out of the box, they're super, super like a bleach white color. And you can see now that they've actually picked up quite a bit of color out of these socks. So just as a comparison here, look at the difference. So had I not put these in, all of this dye would have transferred to the other socks and caused bleeding. So these are great. Highly recommend. I use these every time I block. I use them every time I wash my socks, my sweaters, anything. I use these. So you can get them basically anywhere. Target, Walmart. I think I got these on Amazon just because it was a giant value pack, but worth their weight in gold, y'all. Here we are at the last step, so let's get these out of here. Like I mentioned, I don't put them in the dryer to actually fully dry them. I just want to get them to a point where they're not like dripping wet. Okay, so the lighting is actually terrible in here right now. It's a, well, 1, it's a cloudy day, and 2, it's getting to be around dinner time, so the sun's starting to go in regardless, but here we are. I just lay them out on this drying rack, and I don't even bother really going through too much effort of matching them up. Like if it's obvious, I'll match them up into their pairs, but if not, I'll do it once they're dry and then once they get put away. So once they're all dried, they come here to the sock drawer to live. I do have quite a few commercial socks that I don't really wear those that often, so I should probably go through and declutter this, but I have this half for all of my lovely hand knit socks, and I don't ball. You notice I ball these up. I will ball commercial socks up. I don't ball these up. I just put them with their partner, and then they get folded over and put in here. There's no real rhyme or reason to how I organize this. Like I mentioned earlier, I am someone who aspires to be organized, but it does not come naturally to me. So what I think I will eventually get around to doing is organizing them by like maybe season, because I have like, you know, Christmas socks. I have these really super cute, I think these are more for Valentine's Day. These were Christmas. These were the Grinch socks that I made last Christmas, but they could be Valentine's too. These are Christmas. So, and then these are shorties, and I really do need to make more shorty socks. I don't have very many pairs, and I do enjoy wearing these, so I need to work on that. But, so they'll go from the drying rack, get matched with their pair, folded in here, and there you go. Super easy. The lazy person's way of caring for hand knit socks. So hopefully you found this video helpful for taking care of your hand knit socks, whether you are a knitter, a crocheter, any type of maker. If somebody loves you enough to give you hand knit socks, you can follow this as well. It's just a really simple, effective way of keeping your socks clean, keeping them well maintained, and keeping the colors bright and fun, as you can see in this one. So hopefully you enjoyed this. Give it a thumbs up if you found it helpful. Subscribe for more, and until next time, happy making.